Hi, this is Stephanie Miller from The Stephanie Miller Show. Please enjoy this exclusive clip from my show on Political Voices Network.
Hey, kids, welcome from the New York Bureau. And let me tell you, I am never having a threesome with a Moms for Liberty member again.
Pay attention. We're talking about treason.
You should see my funlove.com bill. You should see it.
Don't forget to type Stephanie. John, that seems like a kind of a, what would I call that? A BFD? Kind of a big deal. I mean, it's stuff that we feel like we already know, but I feel like it's all going to come out in the end.
Stuff like this is going to drip out for the next 50 years.
Yep. Yeah.
Yes, but of all the morons and knuckleheads in Donald Trump's inner circle, we have to be most grateful for birther plagiarist Mark Meadows. Even the third chief of staff, fourth chief of staff.
Right.
He's the one who Fox News is in trouble with Dominion because of him. He's the one whose text messages he stupidly turned over to the January 6th committee told us so much. I mean, Mark Meadows is the one. We got text messages of Donald Trump Jr. texting Meadows on January 6th saying, please make my dad stop, which is how we know Donald Trump Jr. doesn't have his dad's own phone number. So Meadows has already given us so much. But this is binders full of corruption, and I can't wait.
Yeah, you retweeted Max Boot, whose family fled Russia when he was 8, on the GOP abandonment of Ukraine. It's like saying to FDR in 1941, we won't support aid to Britain as it battles the Nazis unless Democrats repeal the Social Security Act or rewrite the labor laws. I mean, it's so ridiculous. But also, you retweeted, I don't know who this guy is. We should continue the slaughter right up until every Ukrainian and every Russian is dead. Am I right? When are you going to actually fight for Ukraine, coward? Ukraine is a Nazi S-hole that has zero chance of defeating Russia, which was never the goal in the first place. And you just said, so when Putin invades your home, destroys your land, and kills your family, you can decide how much of your house he deserves to keep, my deeply moral friend. I mean...
That's it, right? That's it. I mean, how much of Poland should Hitler get to have so he'll behave?
I made the same analogy. Oh, he's just going to take Poland. Don't overreact. I mean,
higher conversation. And listen, and this doesn't make me pro-war. I'm as anti-war as I've ever been. But the only one who can stop this war is Vladimir Putin, because he is the warmonger in this equation.
Yeah. I mean, we were talking yesterday about J.D. Vance saying, oh, Ukraine should just give him some land. And you just said, please, Mr. Putin, would you call me Reek, eyeliner model, and authoritarian groveler J.D. Vance?
Let's talk about the eyeliner. Can we talk about the eyeliner model?
Yeah, what's the deal? Yeah, what's the deal?
Hillbilly effigy. Let's talk about the eyeliner model sometime. My God, Trump, J.D. Vance called Donald Trump Hitler. He called Donald Trump America's Hitler, and now he can't stop groveling before planet Earth's Hitler.
Now he's Neville Chamberlain, see? He's like, oh, please, I was saying all week, John, can you imagine Mexico, Canada comes across our border, we're like, oh, just give them Texas or Michigan.
Yeah, but let me tell you something. Senator Eyeliner, this guy, he puts on a skirt and dances for Putin and says, draw me like one of your French girls, Vladimir. Believe me. Watch.
Can I make a small correction? It's guyliner. It is guyliner.
No, don't give him the gift of a cunning colloquialism. It's eyeliner model. That's all he is. It's like a Robert Palmer video watching this guy.
John, so you said, so you're a Trump supporter who doesn't like people who create shell companies to hide their income. You should probably send your billionaire a check so he'll fight for that.
Yeah.
Was this really the week that Donald Trump sold pieces of his suit, like the Shroud of Turin, that he was arrested in?
Yeah, you love that? His own suit. Now, to prove you're not a sucker, because I love the Donald Trump NFTs. Grifters got a grift. We know this, right? And then when he sold those gay porn trading cards that only existed in the internet, and we all made fun of it, but now his legal bills have gone up higher. Half of his legal bills are paid with donor money from the Save America PAC. So now it's the mugshot edition of his digital trading cards. If you buy all 47 cards, rubes, for $99 each. You understand? $99 a card for cards that don't exist.
Right.
If you buy $99 worth 47 fake cards, you get one physical gay porn card with a piece of the suit on it, and he called it the most significant artifact in history.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's like the Shroud of Turin, except it's the sweat stains of Jabba.
Yeah. The fact that it is gay porn is the only reason I bought some.
At this prices, imagine what I'd sell a classified document for, folks. And for a limited time, you could win a 2.3 square inch of the adult diaper I wore the day I surrendered.
So when I call John my personal comedy Jesus,
Uh-huh.
I'm kidding. People, it's a joke.
Right.
Whereas, John, what do we do about this lady?
God.
Okay.
Number one, he's a godly man. He's
Trump.
working for God, for darn sure. Number two, he really cares about us. He cares about us. He cares about what happens to us. He cares about our country.
No. Hold on. Trumper part 2. Hold on.
He didn't come in there because he wanted the money. He's got money. He's coming there because he is actually working for God, and he wants to help us, and he wants to get us to he wants to make America great again. And I it's true.
Lord.
Okay. Wait, hang on. Wait, one more. Okay.
But I think he's going to make it even greater, because I don't think, no matter what they try to do to stop him, he's going to come back, because he's working for God, and God's on his side.
She's confused God with the Electoral College and Vladimir Putin.
I mean,
Can I tell you, I know enough about Jesus Christ to tell you that Donald Trump is the opposite of his teachings, and I know enough about religion to tell you can't convince someone they're in a cult if they don't want to know it.
Yeah. Well, that sums it up. You said Ann Coulter will lose fans because she told the truth about one thing. Welcome to Liz Cheney Island.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, it really is. When you're retweeting Ann Coulter, the world is lost.
Yes.
But Ann Coulter came out. It was about the Kate Cox story, which to me is
a
also
human
known as
story.
The only thing Democrats should be talking about for
Yeah.
the next 11 months is Kate Cox. That's it. The callousness and the hypocrisy of the fake pro-life movement on full display for this mother of two, where they are forcing, the state of Texas is forcing this woman to have a baby that has no chance of living. Her doctor has said an abortion is the safest option for the mother's health. Texas only had 34 abortions in the entire state this year through 2023. In 2020, it was 50,000 by this time. And there's still abortions in Texas. They're just not legal, and they're not safe, and they're not regulated. But the Texas Pro-Life Organization came out and said there are life-affirming options other than abortion. The only other life-affirming option is the government forcing Kate Cox to have a baby that's going to die in suffering agony while harming her ability to have more children, you woman-hating, revoltingly fake, godless non-Christians. This shows why the pro-life movement is a complete sham. They are not Christian. They are not pro-life. And I've really had it with guys like Mike Johnson, with this little runt who's just a hobbit on the outside and orc on the inside, trying to tell my wife what she can and can't do with her body. I am so tired of mediocre, crummy men who have not read the Bible except to use the New Testament as toilet paper, having the gumption to tell my woman what she can and can't do with their body. 2024 is going to be the year of pissed off men in the pro-choice movement, because I'm sick of it.
We just talked about that. I don't think it's discussed enough about him saying that God wakes him up in the middle of the night
Oh, Mike Johnson.
Yeah.
to talk to him about being Moses. And
God wakes me up
Tells
in the
him
middle
to
of the
make
night to
lists
tell
of
me that
things.
I shouldn't drink liquids before I go to bed. God wakes me up about twice a night. Ever since I turned 30, God's been waking me up once or twice a night.
And lastly, your tweet of the week. NRA and GOP remind you 58 dead in Vegas, 49 dead in Orlando, 26 at Sandy Hook, 26 at Sutherland Springs, 17 at Parkland, 21 in Uvalde are just the price the U.S. must pay. So the next mentally ill 20-something guy who's having a bad day can still easily buy an AR-15. That is also going to be an issue, and particularly for kids that grew up with these active shooter drills and watching their friends be slaughtered. So I think you're right. It's going to be about row rage, and it's going to be about that. I mean, and just democracy in general, democracy versus, fascism. I think, to your point, we keep saying Donald Trump said on camera there must be punishment for the woman. We can't, he's telling us what he's going to do. We can't ignore it. I don't want us to panic or be fearful, but I don't want us to ignore what he's saying.
Listen, these polls are all rubbish, and everybody knows they're rubbish. As I've said on your show before, they're polls of people who answer their landline phones during dinner hours, and they're polls of people who answer their cells when they don't know who the caller is. So it's not a valid cross-section. But this is the reality. The media does not want Joe Biden to have a second term. Journalists might, but the media likes their Trump-sized ratings. So the game is rigged on this. So again, I think Biden's going to be reelected, but we have to remember, it's not about people voting for Biden. People are going to turn out to vote against Trump, to vote against this Supreme Court, to vote against taking abortion rights away from women. Biden and the White House should be talking about Kate Cox non-stop for the next year.
By the way,
and I don't worry about these polls. I think a year from now, people are going to be deeply, deeply engaged. Look what the Republican Party is doing with this ridiculous impeachment. It's not enough they've driven away women voters. They've driven away young voters.
Yeah.
Now they are desperately trying to get the independents they're going to need next year.
I mean,
to not vote
it
for them.
backfired spectacularly. When they tried to impeach Bill Clinton. At least that was about something. It was about a BJ. At least it was about something.
Yeah.
This is, as
It's
we said, the
already-
Seinfeld impeachment. It's about nothing. It's about absolutely nothing.
And it's already backfiring on them now, but they're going to do it anyway because Donald Trump has been a crook his entire life. He wants to be president again and stay out of jail, and he controls the Republican Party. So everything that's happening
And
with
he's a
Hunter
traitor.
Biden and Joe Biden, he's already done it.
Yeah.
He already did it to Hillary Clinton, and she showed up and testified on camera for 11 hours and handed their asses to them, and they remember it. And that's why they're not going to let Hunter Biden do the same thing on camera.
Yes,
They are
and by the way, that's
really-
why you say Donald Trump would ignore congressional subpoenas like they were his kids' birthdays. So,
Indeed.
all right.
They were his marriage vows, people.
I also don't answer my cell phone because it's usually you calling from a block number to convince me to do 14 sexy liberal dates a month. So
Yes.
but we're doing them, and it's January 20th is your first opportunity to see us live in San Francisco. You can still get the pay-per-view of the only 2023 show, which was dubbed. I mean, it was dubbed the best show ever.
Well,
which is best sexy liberal ever.
right.
For only $20 bucks.